Known that we, the members of the Maine House of Representatives, the Maine Senate, join in recognizing Haley Hayden of Heartland, who has earned the distinction of being named valedictorian of the 2011 graduating class of Nokomis Regional High School. We extend our congratulations and best wishes to Haley, and be it ordered that this official expression of sentiment be sent forthwith on behalf of the 125th Legislature and the people of the state of Maine, given this 16th day of May, 2011, at the state capitol, Augusta, Maine, signed by Kevin Ray, President of the Maine Senate, Robert Nutting, Speaker of the Maine House, introduced by Representative Ken Fredette and co-sponsored by Senator Doug Thomas, Representative Dean Cray, Representative Andre Cushing, and Representative David Richardson. Congratulations, Haley.
So, I began to write this speech a couple weeks ago, mulling over various ideas of what I wanted to leave everyone with as a message and an impression. I wanted to be able to leave you all with something inspiring, and began with ideas such as do your best and don't give up. Then I had some others share their thoughts and ideas as to where I should go and share. Some said to make it personal. Others, for example my track coach, said to make it all about track and the fact that I missed practice and meets for study sessions and therefore it deserved to be mentioned in my speech. He said I should put it in and how great the coaches were. However, I kept being drawn back to the do your best idea, but had no idea how to present it so that it didn't sound so cliche and like something that was an easy choice for a speech topic. Then I was introduced to a quote that I was told would give me everything that would make me be able to deliver a speech to you all today. The quote reads, "If ever there is a tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is, even if we're apart, I'll always be with you." This was from Christopher Robin to Winnie the Pooh. I read that and thought, wow, this is a very cool quote, and I definitely agree with what it's saying. Then I started to write my speech about that, but I didn't get very far. Then I had another teacher show me a snippet of a speech that contained 11 rules as far as what to expect in the real world beyond high school, seeing if maybe that would help point me in the right direction, as the rules were around a few key topics. Life is not fair. Don't expect to be given everything you want, unless you work hard and earn it. Learn from your mistakes, and take advantage of every opportunity, no matter how small it may seem, because it could lead to something greater. But then I recalled a conversation from a couple weeks back. I had been sitting in a classroom after school before heading down to my track practice, and someone came in and we began to talk. She asked me how I did it, how I was so successful at school. I answered her saying that when I'm given a task, I try to do my best at it. Not to be better than someone else at it, but just to try to do the best that I can, so that later on I don't look back and think, well, what if I had tried harder? What would have happened then? We kept talking about various things, and during the conversation I learned something very valuable, which is not everyone is dealt the same hand. Now I'm going to ask everyone to use their imagination and pretend that I have an enormous deck of cards in front of me. There are 4 different categories that this deck is broken down into, and to keep things simple, each person is going to get a single card from each category. The 4 categories are these: abilities, people, things, and a mystery category, just to keep it interesting. The card from the abilities category is just what it sounds like, and will have on it a single word of something you are talented at. Some cards may say singing, others logic, and who knows, maybe even someone gets a card saying they're talented at lawn darts. The card from the people category will have a number on it, from 0 to 14, a range. If the card has a number close to 0, the family that one is born into will be more positive, supportive, and involved. If it is around 7, It will be a family that is more detached, not helpful, not harmful, just neutral. However, the closer the number is to 14, the more harmful and abusive the family environment is. Now for the things card. This card is interesting because it will place everyone as to whether they are born into poverty, the lap of luxury, or somewhere in between. It also uses a scale, but this time just 1 to 10. Notice, though, that I said born into and not what will happen later on in this game, as that is key. Finally is the mystery card. It could have almost anything present on it. A trait that is possessed, but not something that is in your control, not something you can learn. Something kind of like a handicap or luck. You know how you know those people that they just happen to be lucky at everything? Now pretend that I have dealt everyone their 4 cards. Take a look at them. And in this game, you don't have to keep your hand hidden. You can share it with your neighbor if you would like. It's up to you. If you do compare with your neighbor, you'll probably notice a huge difference, or maybe not, but statistically speaking, with all the various combinations possible, no one in this gymnasium should have the same hand. Now to start the game of life. We all have our 4 cards. Some of us with hands that we are looking at thinking, oh yeah, I can do this. I'll be way ahead from everyone else. And others of us are probably have a blank look on our faces thinking, what am I going to do? And how do I play these cards? Maybe some are thinking that they have already won or lost. But this is where the fun part comes in. And that is, what are you going to do with your cards? And how are you going to play them? Are you going to accept defeat if you get a hand that you deem as hopeless? Or will you start celebrating prematurely if you get a hand landing you in a very nice place to start? I caution everyone to do neither, because it isn't all about the hand you are dealt. It is what you do with it. This is life, and everyone is born into a different situation with different circumstances. Do not limit yourself as to what you can do or achieve, no matter what. Whether you are born into a situation where everything is to your benefit and advantage, or a situation where all of the odds are stacked against you, make the most of it. If you are of the former, don't waste any benefits you have been given, as some would be all too happy to be in your position. On the other hand, just because your hand is terrible, do not give up, but take the challenge to overcome it and see yourself succeed in spite of it. There is one thing, though, that is the same for everyone across the board, and that is the option to make the most of whatever the cards read and not limit themselves based on what they read. Having said that, I can introduce one more card I did not previously mention that I'm going to deal out to you all. It is completely blank. It is this card that is the result of that option, that choice, to make the most out of what you are given in life. On this card, you can add all of the skills and experiences you acquire, everything you learn and gain as a result of hard work and making the most of whatever hand you were previously dealt. It is the one card that is the same for everyone, and it is all a matter of what you are going to do with it and what you are going to add. This blank card is a game changer, as what you do with this card is up to you and a choice you need to make. How hard will you work to add to that card and reach your goals? And what effort will you put in when things happen so the game of play goes in a direction different from the way you planned? Take the hand dealt to you, try your hardest, and make the best of it, or just change the game altogether. This card game is life. You have all the right cards, and now the blank card equalizes us all. So to my class of 2011, I challenge us all to win with our cards, and remember, as tomorrow we begin to go our separate ways, that we are braver than we believe, stronger than we seem, and smarter than we think. And no matter where we go in life, each of us will always have a place among the Nokomis Regional High Class of 2011.